Welcome back. Today is going to be part 2 of my 7-part seller series releasing for the next several Sundays. So last week, we talked about the importance of your list photos, how they actually can either make a buyer take action or not take action. But I also mentioned how important it was to make sure that your photos actually pop so that it is inspiring buyers to take action. So today we are going to be diving into what can you do to make sure that your home and your photos show to the very best of its ability. So that is what we are going to be tackling in today's video. Alright, so today we are talking about how to make sure those listing photos pop. So step 1 is going to be the 3 Ds. Declutter, deep clean, and depersonalize. So I mentioned it in last week's video where you have most likely been looking on the Zillow or Realtor.com or any of the other realtor websites, and you come across a home and you just see junk and clutter everywhere. And so that's going to be a good example of what not to do. So really decluttering, the best way to think about this is if you're selling, you're already planning on moving. So instead of thinking of it as this declutter that you have to throw everything away, think of it as pre-packing. This gives you the opportunity to do any sort of clear out of items that maybe you've meant to get rid of but just haven't yet. Or if you plan to take it to your new place, this gives you an opportunity to go ahead and pre-pack some of those items. The biggest thing with decluttering is you want to make sure that most of your countertops are clear. So think kitchen countertops, bathroom countertops, even when it comes to the shower, you're going to want to clear out all of the shampoo and conditioner bottles, shaving creams, razors, all of that good stuff. So declutter as best as you possibly can. And again, don't think of it as you have to throw things away. Just think of it as you're pre-packing for your new place. Then you're gonna wanna deep clean. This is a process that you're probably gonna wanna do right before listing photos are taken. So when I say deep clean, I don't mean just the regular clean. I mean clean like your mama probably wanted you to clean before family came over for the holidays. But bless their hearts, we've all seen the parody videos probably of just how moms can go bananas around the holidays, acting like they want the house to seem as if nobody ever lived there. So think of that kind of deep clean when you are thinking about a deep clean for selling your house. Now, of course, you don't have to be the one to do it. If it makes it easier on you and you are able to, go ahead and hire cleaners to come in and do the deep clean for you. Because here's the thing, when it comes to showings, people are going to be touching surfaces, countertops, and so even if they feel the grime on a surface, even though the house may look beautiful, it does start to signal to them like, oh, is the house not clean? Do they not take care of it? What other problems could there potentially be? There's a lot of psychology that happens in a buyer's mind when they're home shopping. And so we want to make sure that we are trying to cut off any of those potential problems before they ever happen. And that's where the deep cleaning comes in. So you have declutter, deep clean, and now we're going to talk about depersonalize. Now my stager, Kim Pierce with the Staging Consultant, she says a good rule of thumb when it comes to depersonalizing a home is anything that has eyes has got to go ahead and be pre-packed. So think family photos, personal photos, portraits, deer heads. If it has eyes, it's a whole cabinet of dolls, anything like that. If it's got eyes, go ahead and pre-pack it, because here's the thing, even as it's on the market, it's still your home, right? And it can feel weird, especially if you've been in the home for a while, to start removing that stuff because you're still most likely going to be living in it until closing. So it can feel weird, but the biggest thing, again, I said there's a lot of psychology that goes into it with a buyer, is We want a buyer to be able to envision themselves living in your home. If they start to see all of your stuff, it very much still feels like your home versus their home or their potential new home. And again, we don't want to throw up any potential roadblocks that would prevent them from seeing themselves living in your space, therefore preventing them from potentially making an offer. So again, remember the 3 Ds: deep clean, declutter, depersonalize. Then you're also going to want to, you most likely already have it, is a honey-do list. So all of those little knick-knacky things that you've been meaning to tackle, but just for whatever reason, life gets busy and you haven't, tackle that honey-do list. Make sure all doorknobs are secure. I cannot tell you how many times if like a doorknob is wonky or a handle is loose, again, that starts to signal like, have they not taken care of the home? And it may seem so small, but it really does play into, again, all of that buyer psychology. So make sure that you tackle that honey-do list that maybe you have been putting off. Now, of course, when it comes to getting those photos prepped and ready for the market to make sure that your photos really pop, we're going to talk about staging. Now, there is so much in terms of statistics that prove that a staged home is going to sell faster and for more money than a home that is not staged. And here's the thing with staging. Depending on your home, depending on your furniture selection, it may not even require to remove your items and bring in new items. There's a lot of times that Kim can often work with a lot of what you already have, and it may just be editing out certain pieces or rearranging them, because ultimately staging, it's not just about making a home look pretty. It's about maximizing each space and defining the use of that space. You never want a buyer to be confused in terms of what the space is meant for. And so staging, again, it strategically plays on the psychology of a buyer because it defines a room, it maximizes the space in the room, and it gives the room purpose. I know recently I was looking through the MLS and I came across a home, and in one room they had a bed, they had a workstation, they had like a workout area. So I mean, they were saying that this room is basically multi-purpose. It's not just a bedroom, it's meant for other things. And that is not what you want to do, because that again starts to play into, okay, well, if they're using one room like this, a bedroom for multi-purpose, does this home not have enough bedrooms? Does this home not have enough storage? So again, all of that stuff, it really truly makes a difference. So with staging, when you work with me, I always offer a complimentary staging consultation because I truly believe in the power of staging because it makes a difference. And again, we know based on your photos that a lot of times it's either going to inspire action or not inspire action. I mean, just think about HGTV, right? When they do the home reveals, those homes are always staged because it doesn't make as much of an impact if they just showed you like a beautiful newly painted new walls in a fixer-upper, right? They stage it because it makes such a powerful impact. And here's the thing, so many buyers today have grown up with HGTV. They're familiar with HGTV or any of the real estate shows. So there is a bit of an HGTV effect in their mind to where when they walk into homes, they are partly, whether they realize it or not, they're expecting to kind of have that wow factor, and staging can help get you there. And again, it doesn't mean removing everything that you own and bringing in new stuff. There may be certain situations where that is called for, certain circumstances, but other times, depending on your furniture, there can be opportunity to use what you already have, just edit it, maybe move it around a little bit to really make your space pop. And there's different levels when it comes to staging. You can do partial staging, you can do full staging, but the biggest part is it's either stage and do it properly or don't do it at all, because there is that in between where you see a really poor staging job done and then it just makes the photos awkward. So you either want to commit to either using what you already have and really making it shine, or just don't do it at all because it can be bad. But here's the other thing we need to know when we are thinking about photos and we're talking about staging. And again, it's not just furniture, it's about bringing in the different accent pieces that really make a difference. And again, really start to play back into a buyer psychology, making it feel homey and cozy. All of that It truly, truly matters. In fact, I know we've talked how it statistically can sell for more and also sell in a quicker time span, but let's actually take a look at those statistics really quick. According to Professional Staging, a home that is staged actually spends 73% less time on market than an unstaged home. And then according to Realtor magazine, staged homes on average sold for 25% more than their unstaged counterparts. So again, the statistics matter when it comes to staging, and I am a big believer in it. I am a big believer. Part of the whole reason I'm doing this series is I'm a big believer in making sure that you do that proper pre-market prep, that you really do put your best foot forward from the start, because it helps mitigate any other problems as you go down the road. And we also know when it comes to staging, when it comes to actually selling a property, we do know that the 3 biggest money rooms are gonna be your kitchen, master bed, and master bathroom. And so that is why it's really important as we're looking at the 3 Ds, as we're looking at the honey-do list, as we're looking at staging, to make sure that in particular, that those 3 rooms are really popping, because they can either help sell a house or cause a house to sit longer on the market. So in today's video, in part 2, we've talked about everything to do in order to get the inside of your home ready. But in next week's video, part 3, we are going to be talking about curb appeal, because yes, your photos are going to be a buyer's first impression when they see it on the internet, but your curb appeal is going to be their first physical impression before they step foot inside. So we have to make sure that that is top notch as well. So stay tuned, because we are talking curb appeal in next week's video. Again, my name is Caitlin Martin. I'll see you next week.